Today we are going to talk about cholera, one of the most horrific diseases.
First of all, let's look at the cause of cholera. Cholera is a disease caused by a bacterium called Vibrio cholerae. Vibrio cholerae is usually found in food and water contaminated by feces and poop from infected pathogens.
Reports of cholera-like disease have been found in India as early as 1000 AD. Let's talk shortly about the first cholera pandemic. In 1817, the first cholera pandemic emerged out of the Ganges Delta and then it quickly spread throughout most of India.
And in 1820 to 1822, cholera spread worldwide. And for the second cholera pandemic, it begins in the years 1829 and covered until the late of 1851. This outbreak was also originated in India and spread to Eastern and Central Asia, and also in the Middle East. Actually, there are 7 pandemics of cholera in total, which has terrorized the world to these 7 outbreaks.
John Snow performed a pioneer work on cholera in London in 1800. He established an association between cholera transmission and contaminated water. He discovered the method of prevention and control of cholera by tracing its source back to drinking water. Due to his work on the Soho cholera outbreak in 1854, John Snow has become a legend in epidemiology. Later in 1883, Vibrio cholerae was first isolated as the cause of cholera by Filippo Passini, but his discovery was not widely known until Robert Koch, working independently 30 years later, popularized the knowledge and the means of fighting the disease.
Cholera is a term derived from Greek, which means illness from bile. In the 17th century, cholera was a term used to describe a severe gastrointestinal disorder involving diarrhea and vomiting. Historians believe that the impact of cholera epidemic on the cultural evolution of Western Europe. During the 19th century, cholera was not only considered a terrifying disease, but was also a challenge to national identity and national economy.
Let's talk about the current status of our disease. The situation of cholera at Yemen updated 2020. The cholera outbreak worsened as a result of ongoing civil war and the Saudi Arabia-led intervention in Yemen against the Houthi movement that begins in March 2015. Airstrike damages hospital infrastructure and water supply and sanitation in Yemen were affected by the ongoing conflict. The lack of safety drinking water affected a million people and caused 2,770 deaths.
Where is the cholera prevalent? Cholera is mostly found in tropics, in particular Asia, Africa, Latin America, and the Middle East. It's rare in United States, but people can still get it. How many people are currently infected? The number of cholera cases reported to the World Health Organization continues to rise. In 2006, 52 countries reported more than 236,000 cholera cases, including 6,311 deaths with a case fatality rate of 2.7%. In 2011, a total of more than 589,000 cases, including 7,816 cholera deaths, were reported from 58 countries around the world, with a case fatality rate of 1.3%. The total of 833,350 cases belonging to the period 2004 to 2008 had been notified to the WHO, as compared to 676,651 cases notified from 2000 to 2004.
So, what is the rate of new infection? The answer is every year approximately 3 to 5 million cholera cases occur.
The mode of transmission. Cholera can be transmitted between humans and humans by drinking water or eating food contaminated with the bacterium Vibrio cholerae. Before the late 1970s, it was believed that person-to-person transmission of cholera was the main mode of transmission. Now, Vibrio cholerae is found in riverine, estuarine, and coastal waters throughout both temperate and tropical regions of the world. It is recognized as a component of coastal and estuarine microbial ecosystem. Common sources that can be found are municipal water supplies, ice made from municipal water, food and drink sold by street vendors, vegetable grown with water containing human waste, raw or uncooked fish and seafood caught in water polluted with sewage. The main source of contamination is present in the feces of the infected person.
Age group that is most affected by cholera. Children are more susceptible to cholera than adults, especially those children under the age of 5 years. The research showed that in 2002, 11 million cholera cases occurred globally every year among children under 5 years of age. However, adult and older children can also get cholera, and mortality can be high in all age groups.
What are the rate of morbidity and mortality? An estimated 2 to 3 million cases occur. 100,000 to 120,000 deaths due to cholera occur every year. If people with cholera are treated quickly and properly, the mortality rate is less than 1%. However, with untreated cholera, the mortality rate is rise to 50 to 60%. Region that is most affected by cholera. Cholera is mostly found in tropical regions, especially in Asia, Africa, Latin America, India, and the Middle East. In 2016, the research showed that major cholera epidemics affected several areas in the world, including Haiti in America, Democratic Republic of the Congo, the United Republic of Tanzania, Africa, and Yemen in Asia. Gender that is most affected by cholera. Cholera has an equal opportunity to be infected for any gender, as Vibrio cholerae is an equal opportunity infection, which means that cholera affects males and females in equal number. Women and girls are disproportionately affected by cholera because there are evidence point to a higher disease burden among women and girls due to their increased exposure to the infection, since they carry most of the household work to prevent and respond to cholera.
What's the type of disease? Cholera is a diarrheal disease caused by infection of the intestine with the bacterium Vibrio cholerae, which is an acquired disease. Cholera is a communicable disease because it is caused by bacteria that is transmitted by the consumption of food or water that is contaminated with the bacteria.
Cholera, an acute infection of the small intestine caused by the bacterium Vibrio cholerae, which secretes a toxins that bind to the intestinal epithelial cells of the small intestine and release cholera toxins. A toxin causes the intestinal epithelial cells to not absorb fluid, which makes the body secrete enormous amount of water, leading to diarrhea. Most people who are exposed to Vibrio cholerae bacteria don't become ill and don't know that they already have been infected, but actually it takes about 12 hours to 5 days for a person to show symptoms after ingesting contaminated food or water, so we could say that the incubation period is from 5 hours to 5 days, usually 2 to 3 days, but it can also kill patients within an hour if left untreated.
Major signs and symptoms. The infection may be mild in most of the cases, but sometimes it can be severe. Approximately 5 to 10% of persons suffer from severe cholera. The symptoms are diarrhea. Cholera-related diarrhea come on suddenly and can quickly cause dangerous fluid loss. Nausea and vomiting. Vomiting occurs especially in the early stages of cholera and can last for hours. Dehydration. It can develop within hours after cholera symptoms start and range from mild to severe. The activity of our immune system against the pathogen. First, our immune system against cholera by producing antigen in the prayer patch of the gastrointestinal mucosa. And then the simulate antigen-specific B cell migrate to regional lymph nodes, finally splitting this cell into specific antibody-secreting cells. Therefore, stimulation of the mucosal immune system commonly leads to production of both local and systemic antibody to Vibrio cholerae.
So what are the treatments for cholera? There are commonly 4 ways of cholera treatment. The first treatment is rehydration therapy, meaning prompt restoration of lost fluid and salt through rehydration therapy is the primary goal of treatment. This treatment will help our body gain water and mineral. Patients will drink oral rehydration salt or ORS that will be mixed in boiled water. The second therapy is intravenous fluid. Severe cases of dehydrated people might also need this treatment. This treatment will allow patients to get water and mineral by saline solution instead of drinking to help our body gain water and minerals. The third therapy is antibiotic treatment, which reduces fluid requirements and duration of illness. It is indicated for severe cases of cholera. Doxycycline and azithromycin are antibiotics that are effective. The last treatment is zinc treatment. This treatment will reduce the severity and duration of acute or chronic diarrhea in children. Zinc is the vital micronutrient essential for protein synthesis and intestinal transport of water.